Beauty Moon Cosmetics has released their newest launch, the Mantra palette, and I wanted to come today and give you my thoughts about it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're just going to be talking about the new Beauty Moon Cosmetics Mantra 1 palette. There's a second one, I'll try to have a picture here. And then they also did send me a lip gloss and I'm not sure what they're calling this, but it's like a little liquid eyeshadow pot. Massive thank you to Beauty Moon Cosmetics for sending me these 3 products in a PR to test out. Thank you, I really appreciate that. Jumping in first, let's go ahead and just talk through some pricing. So the Mantra palette itself, £32. This is a UK brand. I did roughly do the math, so it's $42.70 USD. So just a little bit about the palette. So this Mantra palette is a spiritual journey in color. The Mantra palette is inspired by inner wisdom, energy, alignment, and self-expression, featuring 16 highly pigmented shades in a mix of matte, shimmer, and multi-dimensional finishes. This palette is designed to elevate your makeup game while channeling positive energy. This palette is perfect for celebrating ethereal, bold, and everyday looks while embracing the energy of each shade. Whether you're manifesting positivity or just want to glow with intention, the Mantra palette is your ultimate beauty ritual. Okay, so hopefully you did see I did do some swatches. I still have all the shades swatched here in my hand. First thought, the kind of multi-chrome shades look super duper stunning, which are going to be these bottom 4 here and then this one here. The shimmers, I'm just gonna say they're just okay. I think that they have an okay amount, like they have shine to them. I don't know if I would say they're my favorite as in terms of overwhelmingly shiny. I do really like this one shade though here, Thrive. I think that one is really pretty. It is right here. I think it has like a nice glow to it. No issue whatsoever though with the swatches. I am also curious about the mattes. These don't go very deep for kind of my vibe. When I was kind of looking and seeing some other people's swatches, I just don't know if there's necessarily either. There is palettes that like I saw some else's swatches and they were showing some of the shades look really dark, and I don't think this is that dark of a palette if I'm honest. I feel like this is a pretty mid-toned to light palette. I would more say this is a mid-tone palette. I don't necessarily think any of these shades are super deep. So far, I think the duochrome shades are the absolute best in this palette. I want some deeper shades, so I definitely am seeing shades that either could have removed, in my opinion. I don't know if I feel like we needed this green row. I love this aqua shade, but I feel like if we kind of would have added in some like darker blues, a darker purple, even that I feel like would have just made this palette, at least in my opinion, a bit more easier to use. But still, I kind of get it with the front like artwork. That's just my opinion. Again, zero hates. Brand, if you're watching this, I still love your stuff. Please do not be offended. I just want to be honest. Also, let's go ahead and talk about the 2 other products. So I do have the metallic eyeshadow liners. These retail for £8.50 or $11.34 USD. This product, I'm just going to be honest, in my opinion, it's a very like liquid product, and it has like this lid. It does come with like 2 protective lids, which I think is incredible and does work really well. My only, again, just kind of first impressions, I wish that this maybe came in like either like a liquid lipstick tube or an eyeliner tube or something. I feel like it would just make it a bit easier to use and not as messy. Granted, I've had no issue with it getting off of the package. I just kind of feel because the product itself is kind of liquidy, or not kind of, is pretty liquidy. I'm not gonna say it's like super liquidy, but it's, you know, it's liquidy. So it definitely can be, I would say, messy. Like I just got some on my finger. I just feel like, at least in my opinion, for ease of use, that would be the easiest in my opinion, but still a really neat product. And then lastly, they did send us the lip gloss. So again, first impressions, when I do smell it, it does kind of have like a chemically smell. I'm not saying that's necessarily, you know, I'm not trying to be like a hater on that. I do have another lip gloss from them that they had sent me before. Let's see how I feel about this one. So this one honestly has like no smell whatsoever. So whatever this formula was, if they're able to do that in the future, that would be nice, because I really like this lip gloss. I just you know, I don't fully have thoughts yet, but this one just smells kind of chemically, so if that bothers you, I would just be wary of that. I just realized I did not do any swatches of those products, so let me go ahead and do a quick swatch of both of these. Here's kind of what the lip gloss looks like. It's kind of like a black, it looks like a black gray lip gloss. It's a glitter lip gloss. So it feels decently opaque. And let me do a little swatch of our metallic eyeshadow liners. I do have this, I've actually played with it a little bit, I do have this on my lips today. I kind of apply it kind of heavy on my hand here. And that is what that looks like with nothing underneath. They do recommend to put a black underneath as a base, which you will see in the tutorial I did. And I also did, I don't know if you can just kind of see on my lips. I literally, like I said, again, Brand, if you're watching this, I would recommend this to be, like, if you're able to make this, like, a lip product. I don't know about everybody, but, like, I would buy this because it's on my lips right now, and I love this. It's, like, a glittery, shiny beautifulness, but it's, like it's pretty transfer-proof. There's, like, a little bit, but that could be my lipstick, to be honest. None of the glitter, though, is transferring. So, that's great there. So, let me go ahead. I'm gonna get myself all cleaned up, and let's go ahead and jump into the tutorials. So I'm going to try something new that I don't normally do, which is I'm going to actually build the look completely with you, like, as we go. Looking at this palette, there's really not a lot of depth, if any, at all. So I feel like our main shade that I'm going to start off with is going to be this blue shade, which is called Intuition. I'm not really sure if that was, like, the brand's full goal with this, just to kind of have a brights palette, which I guess just makes sense for the summer months. I'm just going to pick this shade up kind of with like a long pencil brush. So if you are new to my channel, how I like to do my eyeshadow usually is I divide my eyes up into thirds. So this inner white part is 1/3, the colored part is another third, and then the outer white part is our last third. So what I'll go ahead and do is apply this to our outer third. I don't know if I want to take this like super far out. I am tempted to almost use some of the shimmer shades that they gave us that are a bit deeper to see if I can get a little bit of depth with those. I'm really just making sure I'm taking my time and going back and layering up this blue to make sure that it is nice and pigmented. So now that we have this kind of base shade, I did take some underneath the eye as well. I'm more struggling with, do I want to go more purple or more kind of like tealy green? I'm thinking of taking this shade Sage and just applying this to like all the inner part of the eye. I'm not sure. Also, I'm sure you can hear the crazy weather outside. It is like storming crazily. Let me know in the comments, do storms like calm you down? It depends. I think that storms can be relaxing to me. They can also cause some anxiety in like a day like today where I have to drive to work. But usually I find as long as I drive really slow, then usually I'm okay. If I was off, probably the only thing I'd be worrying about is the power going out. That or like a tornado. So far, no talks of a tornado. Okay, so we have that all kind of blended out. For shimmers, there is several different ways I could go with this. This shade right here is super pretty and green thrive, but so is Aura. Aura is like a super strong shine. Let's start off by taking a little bit of Clairvoyant with our finger. So Clairvoyant is just going to be kind of a standard shimmer. Has a nice shine, but is not anything like super sparkly, so I would call this kind of more metallic. Yeah, that's not really doing a whole lot. Like, it's a pretty shade, that it's not, like, it's just kind of continuing this blue. So I'm almost feeling like we should go in with Aura, which is that sparkly kind of aqua shade. These shades, though, are, like, I hope you can see that. They're so smooth, and ooh, that just applies. Like, hello, I hope you can see that. I mean, I might just leave this, like, here. Like, I don't know if adding that lime green or whatever color might be too much. Just going in with the clean brush just to kind of soften everything out. I'm thinking I'll use a teeny bit of Thrive just because why not? And just see. I'm gonna use that brush we were just using, a clean one. It's picking up relatively well. Adding a little something. I do feel like this shade on its own, Thrive, is really pretty. I might have to include like a third look or something, just using some of the shimmers and midtones with this palette. because I feel like this palette could be really good. It's just, like I've already mentioned, missing some of the depth that I myself really like. But this is still really pretty. I like. And here is look number 1 complete. Honestly, I really like it. I think it looks really pretty. And I'm excited to see what else I'm able to create with this palette. So let's go ahead and hop into our next look. So for today's look, I kind of wanted to go a little bit more simple. Just play with a couple of the really like light shades and then play with some of the shimmers. Starting off, I'm just going to take the shade It's like this really pretty peach shade. I'm thinking of actually using this as my blush shade as well. And I'm going to take this shade all the way throughout the crease. All I have on my lids is just a little bit of some foundation. Taking some underneath the lower lash line as well. And then just to make sure that everything is nice and seamless, I'm going to take this shade Sapphiric. It's like this light pink shade with a big old fluffy brush. And just go around the edges of this shade. Okay, now that we are to this point, we get to go in with our shimmers. So I'm going to take this shimmer shade Zenith. I feel like it's definitely a duochrome. It almost looks more kind of like orangey, coppery, but I feel like on the eye it looks very pink. It's a very strong shade, so applying it with one finger and tapping it out with another. I do feel like a brush would also pick these shades up really well, so they're really pigmented. And then you could totally leave it at that if you do like that, but I do want to add another shade, which is the shade Ethereal. I feel like on the eye, this shade, it definitely gives a lot of like gold flip. That's what's there. I'm a little bummed because I feel like in the pan, hopefully you can see, it kind of has this like pinky purpley vibe. Same idea, just using one finger to apply and another to stamp it out. I did on this side get a little carried away, so I guess we're going to have to do the same just to make sure that they look more kind of even. So all I did was just take a brush and then just kind of stamp that in. Going back with our brush we used to apply our deepest shade, I'm just going to soften everything out. And that's it. I'm just going to apply some mascara liner and then we'll be back to show you what it all finished looks like. Okay, so I totally forgot to come back at the end to show you my look yesterday, but I think you kind of were able to see it, so hopefully you'll forgive me for skipping it. But I want to come back. I'm actually doing a third look. The only reason I'm doing a third look is because we do have the other 2 products to test out. So one is this like gel type eye product, and then I also want to play around with the black lip gloss. So as you see, I do have this eye. I went ahead and just did kind of a simple smoky-ish eye to me. So I'm just going to start off with the Void. This is the Blend Bunny Ellis palette. I'm just taking kind of this long pencil type brush to tap out my foundation. So I'm going to start kind of how I normally do my looks. So I'm going to take this in to about 2/3 of the way. And then I'm going to start winging it out. I'm not worrying about any fallout. This is a black shade, so more than likely there will be fallout. Working a little bit underneath the lower lash line as well. I'm going to take it to about the same spot. And then I'm going to go in with this purple shade called Atlantis. Taking like a medium-sized fluffy brush, I'm just going to take this all around the shape just to soften. Dipping in with our actual palette, I'm going to take the shade Whisper. And I'm just going to use that on a big fluffy brush just to soften everything completely out. Alright, dipping in with our gel product, I'm just taking kind of like a flat brush. It does pick up quite a lot of product. So I'm just gonna tap it on the lid. I'm almost wondering if I do like a slight thicker layer, if I will get more of the sparkle. Because on this side, once it dried down, the sparkle kind of disappeared, which is kind of sad. So we'll kind of see. This is quite an interesting product, though. I've never really used anything like this before. Now, this did say to apply it over a black base, which is why we're doing this kind of smoky eye. I noticed when I did it just by itself, it's kind of more of a gray. We'll give it that a second to dry down, and then we'll come back. Okay, now that it's set down, I would say it still has a decent amount of sparkle, and it has like a light tack, but it's pretty much set down, so that's nice. I still want to add a little bit of pop of color like I said on the other side, so I'm going to go ahead and dip it back in with our palette, and I'm going to take the shade Oracle, just with my finger. And I'm going to pop this on the inner part of the eye. Taking this kind of like a flat brush, and just adding a bit more of that sparkle. I'm just going to tap over with my finger to help it to blend. That looks really pretty. I like that. Okay, let me go ahead and apply mascara, a lip, all that, and then we can come back and try the lip gloss. Alright, now that that is all done, we can just jump in with our lip product. So this is just in the shade number 2. It is a glitter gloss. So you can see it has lots of little specks of glitter. Because it's like a gray kind of black shade, I wanted to put it over a black lip. Let's just apply. That's pretty. I appreciate though that it's not sticky at all. That's really nice. Very glossy. Does this look too much? I don't know. I don't really care. I think it looks pretty. Alright, that is going to be it for these. Let's go ahead and roll on into final thoughts. Alright, here we are to discuss my final thoughts about everything. First, let me know what you thought of my tutorials. I do hope they were helpful. I did try to play with the palette at least for 2 of the looks, and then I did bring in another palette to help with today's look, just to really be able to test out a couple of the different products. So first things first, or final kind of thoughts, I really want to play with this palette, kind of deleting it, or not even necessarily deleting this row here, but bringing in, kind of like I said in the intro or the beginning, some of those other shades that I feel like might really help make this my kind of perfect palette. Because I feel like for me, I just need kind of that mix of a medium, dark, light. I think that that would just make this a way better palette, at least in my opinion. These shades here are absolutely gorgeous, so I love that. In my opinion, this palette has 4 really good shimmers. Or no, what am I saying? Not 4, I'm so sorry. 6 really good shimmers, and the mattes perform really well. The shimmers also, like I said, do perform really well, just the traditional shimmers. They're just not the most impactful, and at least for myself, in a palette like this, if you're going to give me like a super shiny multi-chrome shade, I am going to use that. Just my opinion, I would prefer that over these kind of more standard shimmers. Jumping in with this product here, the metallic eyeshadow liners. I think this is a great idea. I kind of agree with what I said in the beginning when I was giving kind of first things, first impressions. I really do think that this should be kind of like a lip product. And I already showed you, but like my lips look incredible, and I just love this product. And at least for me, I prefer a more transfer proof kind of vibe. So that's going to be a personal preference thing. I would absolutely love to have more of these, but like in a tube. I just feel like I would use them more. Jumping in to the lip gloss. While I do think this product is really pretty, and hopefully you can see in the packaging, it has like so much little glitter. I don't know, when I applied this morning, I don't know if I'm supposed to shake it, and I missed out on that. It broke up my lipstick right away, so you did see me put on that black lipstick. Within, I would say, an hour or so, it was already making my lipstick come off underneath. That can definitely happen with lip glosses. This is a hydrating non-sticky, so I definitely do agree with non-sticky. I would say it's somewhat comfortable, in my opinion, as in terms of lip glosses. So if I were to use this again, I would apply probably just a little bit in the center. I try not to apply too much, and I noticed probably within 20 minutes that it was kind of easing out of my lip lines here, and my lip line. And at least for me, like, I just hate that feeling of, as I'm like, doing anything, I just feel the lip gloss kind of easing out. It's not a great feeling. Also, kind of a bummer, which might just be because it is hydrating. I don't know if you can see, I tried to correct it a little bit, and I did put another lipstick on top of this, but it unfortunately did settle into my fine lines, and that is after I did what has been my current favorite routine of powder, setting spray, all of that, just to kind of help no product like ease into my fine line. That could just happen, whatever, but just at least for myself. I don't necessarily love that this product did that. Again, I did not have that issue with this other gloss from that. This is a much lighter gloss though, so that is also what's kind of hard, is that because this is black, you're just going to see that. I still do think though it's really pretty. I don't necessarily feel like the glitter came across the absolute most. I mean, I guess it depends on like how you do it. I feel like if you layer it up super thickly, that is probably how you're gonna get the most amount of shine. So again, if I were to use this product again, I would probably do a pretty thick coat in the center of the lip just to get that really sparkly holographic shine. But again, just in my opinion, I feel like I'm getting that so much easier with this pot thing here, and I'm not going to have any issue with transfer. Those are just my opinions. Again, I really hope that I'm not coming across as offensive or anything. I just really want to be honest and truthful with you all if you are thinking of picking up any of these products, just so you kind of know my thought process with those. All in all, though, I'm really happy I got a chance to play with these things. I am definitely excited to continue to play with the Mantra palette. Definitely excited to continue to play with this thing. And I really am hoping I can play with this more and figure out a way. I realized I forgot to say, because you already saw in the tutorial, I did use this on my eye today, or as you already saw on both my eyes. It did crease a little bit, not horribly. I don't feel like the shine, though, came across that good on my eye. Honestly, I kind of feel like I needed to use maybe a better black base. I just did a black eyeshadow, as you saw that I used, so part of me feels that maybe it needed something stronger, as like on my lips, this came out amazing. I'm wearing the Black Moon Cosmetics Sleepwalker. Black Moon Cosmetics Sleepwalker Liquid Lip, my absolute favorite. If you're looking for a good black liquid lip, check that out. I apologize, I know it's not within the brand, but whatever. Massive thank you again to the brand for sending this to me. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Please subscribe if you did enjoy this content. I would love to bring you more reviews in the future talking about different palettes. So yeah, would absolutely love to have you here. I hope you're having a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.